Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Leadership Corner. My name is Dina Hayes-Burke, also known as the Vision Builder, and today I'm going to talk about a topic that we hear a lot, especially when I work with leaders and organizations. It's a term called the cultural shift. So many organizations talk about the fact that we need a shift in our culture, and you may be one of those leaders who, in your own meetings, talk about the need for a cultural shift. But what does that actually mean? A lot of the times when I hear leaders talk about the need for a cultural shift, the next step that is taken is that you make a shift in policy. Here's a harsh reality. Policy does not shift culture, people do. A lot of the times the people that you are leading are truly interested in a cultural shift, but they are looking to you to lead the pathway towards that shift. John Maxwell has a quote and it says, "Everything rises and falls on leadership." But here's another harsh reality that you are currently facing. When you assumed your position as leader, as supervisor, as manager, as an executive, as the CEO, you were appointed to manage and execute tasks through your people. But when you look at how the work is constructed, the truth is that it is very much heavily focused on the task and very little emphasis is placed on the people. Oftentimes when I look at performance appraisals, you would examine what the content of the performance appraisal is, and the performance appraisal is mainly surrounding the execution of tasks. Even for those of you who assume a role where your success is contingent upon how you lead people. And it's for this reason that I started to explore a concept known as the leader manager. Because as I said before, culture is shifted through people and not policy. And the people who need to shift include those of you who lead people towards results. So while your title may say supervisor, may say manager, may say executive manager, the truth is to actually experience cultural shift requires you to start thinking about how you can lead your people in a way that is meaningful, that is connective, that is adaptive. And that is the role of the leader manager. The leader manager does not necessarily balance leadership and management, but rather finds the harmonious blend between the two functions and flow easily from the leadership role to the management role as the need arises. In so doing, what happens now is that you create a dynamic where yes, you are accountable, yes, there is structure, yes, there is the checking off of things that need to get done, because at the end of the day, these are so important to achieving success. But you also understand how to do that through your people by connecting, by showing empathy, by exercising emotional intelligence, by understanding situational analysis, and being able to be adaptive in your approach and in your decision making as the case needs, so as to lead to the results you're looking for. So this video is to really challenge you to think about how you treat with your people. How easily do you go from the management role to the leadership role? Can you identify those trigger points, those trigger words, those trigger circumstances that tells you when you need to switch from one to the other? If you recognize that there's a deficit in those areas, there's a few things that you need to start thinking about. One, in order to become more emotionally intelligent and to truly lead your people, there's a level of self-awareness that's required for you to be effective in this. Oftentimes when we think about emotional intelligence and we think about empathy, we primarily think about understanding how the other person feels and putting yourself in the other person's shoes. The problem with that is you also think that you need to ignore the shoes that you are currently wearing. And that's not what emotional intelligence and empathy is all about. You have to understand and recognize that you are also an individual under pressure. You are an individual who is feeling. You are an individual who is going through. You are an individual who has bosses that you need to respond to. And that reality can create internal and external pressure for you that is relevant. And in that same environment, you also have other individuals who are around you experiencing their own pressure, experiencing their own circumstances. And both can coexist. So in order to become better as a leader, you need to improve in your emotional intelligence by understanding that there are feelings and experiences that you are having and others are having it as well. To improve your self-regulation at that time so you don't find yourself snapping at your people or defaulting to policy instead of paying attention to the relevant issue that is impacting your staff's ability to perform. And from that point, you can actually embrace empathy. That's the step one of becoming the leader manager. Because being a leader is not simply just saying I'm a leader, but it's understanding that I need to connect with my people. I need to create space for them to be who they are, but also create space to bring out the best in them. As a leader manager, the more you become emotionally intelligent, the more you are going to find that you are able to manage with ease. Because here's what I've seen happen. The person who is leading a team and actually cares about the team does not have to work so hard to get the team to do the tasks that are assigned to them. So in order to make a cultural shift in 2026 and beyond, you need to start embracing the idea of being a leader manager. One who is able to accept the dual responsibility of leader and management, and to understand that in order to check the boxes that are required for you to check, that you actually need to start thinking about how you can connect with your people in a meaningful way so that they can get the work done. As a leader manager, you become more adaptive. As a leader manager, you become more decisive. As a leader manager, you are able to create community. And where there is community, there is always success, because where we have a joint goal, everyone is invested and success becomes that shared outcome. So if you are interested in understanding how to become more of a leader manager, I can't cover everything in this video, but you can visit the leaders blog on dhbstrategy.com, where you can get more insight, more direction on the steps that you need to take in order to embrace the role of a leader manager and be a part of the cultural shift that you really want to see in your organization.